Hello, it's Molly with Bridget's Grove and 30 Days of Goddess, and this is just a quick video flip through of my June prayer book for the practice. And this one, this was the first cover I got that had the goddess on it already, so I didn't stick a sticker on. But as I tend to do, I reinforced the inside covers with cardstock. Added a pocket to the back to hold extra stuff. And I had this little note from Amanda Fall at the Phoenix Soul, and so I stuck an extra pocket in there that I made with an additional little note inside that came from Dandelion Lady, who I'm also a patron of. I like blending the stuff together. Anyway, I didn't actually glue that pocket in. I didn't feel like it, and so I didn't, and there really aren't any rules, so there we go. And I kept a little extra stuff in there. This one I ended up not finishing my moon wheel. I got started with it and then just kind of stopped, but the current month I am doing my moon wheel. There's a lot of ways to do this, and you can use the circles for mood tracking if you want to, or for exercise or water intake, or really anything that you want. You can use colors to code it, or you can use symbols. I have a moon code, so I use those symbols usually for mine. I got really into making teeny tiny books on books in this one. So the little tiny prayer cards are then glued together in a little stack to make a tiny book. You can put on top of a little fold-out prayer card. From the back, I always like pockets, and they're often reminders to me. They're not just randomly stuck in there. They go with what I'm thinking about or doing. I explained in a recent video that I don't necessarily connect this page per se to the word of the day. These are very much as the inspiration and energy strikes me, and not specifically, like what I put here isn't necessarily directly related to the word incubate, for example. It's kind of whatever strikes me that day. Stencils, things from the Phoenix Soul magazine. I was really charmed by my own. I had a typewriter sticker, and then I cut out tiny text from one of the tiny prayer cards and put it on there, so it has text, which I found quite charming of myself. Some other little prayer card printables. This one I stuck a poem into that then comes out. More of those a little teeny book upon a fold out, which bring me great pleasure. This page does relate. It's color, and I picked something really colorful on purpose. And then it has a tiny little book on it as well. Oops. And that's how these get super fat when they're done, which also brings me a lot of joy. Another little tag, I think that was from Amanda as well. Another little book. The themes are coming through here. I get in the mood to do things. And then I have joy. Oh yeah, this form's kind of a little lockdown. So then this card folds out. That was also from the Phoenix Soul, Amanda Fall. This was just experimental with cards that I've been making for Living the Questions, and so I made them fold out this way and this way. More little poem notes that I kept separate instead of gluing down. I kind of like that because then it has that choose your own adventure feel. This was another one that delighted me to no end. The word was hatch, and so ta-da! I mean, a little bird that hatches out, and then fell in love with my own cuteness. And this one has a pocket with a feather that I found, and then a mini version of our Mid-Year Magic prayer book. Prayerbook, which was available in our summer newsletter. I filled out the bigger version and I decorated it and everything. This one I just left plain black and white in the pocket. Definitely let Joanne. That was a Dandelion Lady card also. Oh, and this is from her too. I don't know why I'm blanking on her name. Melissa? Anyway, I guess I think of her as Dandelion Lady because that's her username, and I have a little trouble with that. This is a little fold out with sparkly credit card ad that I used. No need for a credit card, just more journal supplies. This is a real pressed piece from a trip. This was from a bird seed ad for a kind of bird seed, and I thought it was cool, and I cut it out and put a found poem on it. And then I made there was a lavender, picture of lavender. And so I made my first little sideways pocket there to kind of just tuck it in. This is pressed false indigo, so it's not a sticker, it's real. And then that bird I just cut out of a magazine. Those magpies I also cut out of a magazine. I like how I kept its wings so it can fly away. And then a little note inside. Bigger note inside that one. This illustration is from Joni Ray at Tales of a Kitchen Witch. These are real rose petals. This is a sticker. So real, not real. And so she does coloring pages for her patrons every month, and I love printing them out extra small. They're full-size pages, but I print them out extra small so I can put them in my little books. And then bookmark I was working on with some Wee Moon stuff, and I believe it has one of my cute little add-ons inside. So I've mentioned this a couple times in videos lately, but one of our patrons, Ruth, referred to this practice as improving the book and making things for it as a portable tiny temple, and that is genuinely how it feels to me, like a sacred space that you can carry with you, a place that you can return to, that you can trust, that can hold and hear you and create a space for the sacred in your day. Little tag with a post-it note poem inside from Post-it Note Poems. Another coloring page from Joni, but I didn't actually finish coloring. I was going to come back to it later, but you know, there's no pressure, and so if you don't end up coming back to it, then that's okay. It is what it is. It's its own little experience. Multiple little fold outs. I was in the most folding out mood of all when I did this one. This particular book, apparently, for fold outs. I'm sorry about the going in and out of the color. I'm in the tiny temple, and it is a little dark in here, and I guess it's making my, I guess it's just happening. And then we were doing test prints for our 30 Days of Goddess companion deck that's getting ready to come out, and so I used some printings of that to make a little sidebound, like accordion type book to put in, because just honoring that phase of the process. This one I used multiple prayer cards from the back to make a fold out page. And again, this one has little notes, words from the test printing to remind me, listen, create magic, right? And things snipped out of an old Wee Moon as well, and cards I made for Living the Questions. Those are all available to you too. You don't have to, you can just have them from Living the Questions. And I'm working on some cards just for fun for Simple Seeker's Journey that Fiona Beth of Global Village Witch is doing. So I print out one of them just as well and include it in my book when I work on a new one. This little tag, I use little tags from other items. This is cut out of I think at a book, like a book box owl crate that my daughter gets, and so I cut her out a little thing. That was cut out of a magazine article. I liked the way it made that. I'm always on the alert for things. So this is from Tales of a Kitchen Witch too, but this is like her business card that she includes with stuff, and so I just cut out the image. And this is punched out of a magazine, Then we went on our trip to Arizona. I have a separate video about our Arizona trip pages, but bookmark and mats and things like that. So I'm going to go through those quickly because I had another whole video just about these pages because I had fun doing some extra stuff, keeping our little tickets, and that was our room key card, and I liked using maps for the background of those pages. And then some few leftover things in the envelope in the back, but I like putting an pocket in so that I can keep extra stuff. So there we go. So enjoy continuing to create.